Welcome to this week's OK at Work with myself, Sarah Sawyer, and my colleague, Russell Berger, both attorneys at Offit Kurman. And today we are talking workplace safety. So, I'm located in Baltimore. Russell, you're a little bit further down in Maryland, but definitely been some really hot days lately, sometimes breaking into the over 100 mark and lots of humidity and just a really tough environment. It brings to mind that, obviously there's a lot of employees who work outside and have to deal with the heat and be out in those elements. So, there's been some incidents. One recently just happened here in Maryland involving a Department of Public Works employee who died from heat-related issues. So what are some things that employers should be thinking about when we're dealing with conditions like this, Russell?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it in kind of the context of COVID previously, but employers have an obligation to provide a safe working environment for their employees. That's under OSHA, and in Maryland we have MOSHA, the state version of it. So that's just kind of a baseline, and even more than the law, it's just kind of simple common sense when it's extremely hot outside, or when there's a risk of thunderstorms, which is different kind of risk, but related to summer weather. Um, have a plan. Have water breaks. Have people go inside into the air conditioning. If there are thunderstorms coming, make sure your employees know what to do when that happens if they're working outside. You just have to have some safety protocols and some safety plans in place.
Yeah, just making sure that folks are hydrating and that you're checking in with them and that they know that the expectation from the employer is to be taking care of themselves. I see this a lot. So I work a lot with FedEx contractors and in the transportation industry. And there's a motivation for those drivers to want to get packages delivered quickly, be done with their day, and they might push themselves. And so it's important to set that tone and communicate with your employees to say, no, it's important that you stay safe, that you stay healthy, because it also increases the chance of other types of injuries. Because if someone's hot and they're moving fast and that they're trying to get something done, that we've all had that moment, I think, where you're hot, you're trying to problem solve, you're trying to move around, and it's harder to do when it's that hot, and can be kind of debilitating and cause other issues as well. So I wouldn't just rely on the employees to just do these things themselves. It's important to have policies and communications around that.
Yeah, like anything, manage it. And by that same token, one of the other things, and some industries it may work or may come more easily than others, but you can alter work schedules, so you're not working at kind of the peak heat periods of the day. Again, that doesn't work for everyone, but sometimes maybe you start an hour earlier in the morning and you get an hour less of that afternoon heat. So there's just things that you can do. Just logistically, and really, I do think, and I kind of said this already, but to hammer the point home, like it's a management issue. These are management decisions, and they need to be decided by management and rolled out and enforced, and say, hey, look, we're just not going to take chances with this. We have a plan. We're going to start our days an hour earlier, or we're going to take some breaks for water, or we're going to make sure that you get enough time, consecutive time in the truck, so that you're in the air conditioning and you can cool off.
Another place this comes up with people who are not working outside in offices. I mean, obviously air conditioning and whether the systems are working properly in the building that someone's in, and what the protocol should be if something in that work environment changes, and what the employees should do. So everyone should know what the emergency action is if because it's an emergency at this point. If it's 100 degrees outside and the air in the building goes off and you're on the 20th floor, it's going to be pretty rough pretty quick up there. So definitely need to have a protocol in place.
Yeah, I can tell you from one of our old office buildings, being on the 20th floor, there really isn't any air conditioning in the stairwell. So when you do the fire drills in the summer, you feel it. And I mean, that's just, 20 flights of steps. That's not sitting in there all day. So totally agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Russell. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sarah.